Hey everybody, this is Mando Torres, and you're listening to the show before the show.
And I'm Paige Wesley.
Oh,
and with us we have...
I fucked that one all up. I did so good for a second. I'm Mikey Randolph, and I'm podcast ruiner.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna give you an out either. I was just gonna let you sit in it.
I'm just going straight ahead.
No, it's great. This is payback for all of the bullying that we did in this episode. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Mikey is guesting with us on what is a very, very fun episode. But before we get into it, we have some news and reviews. The first piece of news is that we have a Patreon.
What?
Did you know that?
No.
Did you guys hear about this?
God. What? When?
I read about this.
I read about it in the news. I think I saw Jay Leno cover it. Yeah. So Cult Podcast has a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Cult Podcast to check out all of the tiers and rewards that we have there. For current Patreon members, there is a post on how to get your rewards if you are above the $10 level. I think it's a $25 and $40 level. You can check out how to get your rewards there. Also, if you're looking for a new place to listen to the show, might we suggest Rooster Teeth? Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Yeah!
Oh, my condolences to our editor, but you know what? Keep it in. I love the bit.
Ka-chow!
I'm the worst.
Rooster Teeth is a fantastic place to listen to content and also watch a bunch of really fun shows. You can go to roosterteeth.com, or you can download the app on your fucking Roku television, your Amazon Fire Stick, your Xbox, or your cellular device, permitting that it allows apps. If you have a smartphone, I don't think you're even listening to the show right now, if I'm being honest. You know what? No, there's probably somebody who's like, every Monday I download the episode and I put it on a CD-ROM, and then I put it into the car, the CD player in the trunk of my car, so I can have 8 discs. Yeah, the disc changer, and then I listen to your show. But yeah, so go to Rooster Teeth, fantastic place to listen to the show. Before we start we have another 5-star review. This one comes to us from Messy Mornings 17.
Oh, been there.
I spilled maple syrup all over myself.
I feel like you said "been there" and you meant it sounded like you meant years ago, but I feel like it was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They say, "Hey there, my name is Shariah, and feel free to butcher it." Oh God, now I'm not confident I said it right. My name is Shariah, and feel free to butcher it. I have been listening to the show for a while, and it never ceases to make me amazed and my side hurt from laughing. Y'all are amazing, and I'm so happy watching you all grow and have fun in this crazy dark world. Keep it up, Paige and Armando. Also, seeing you join Rooster Teeth, insert rooster-ish noises here. Has been cool as heck. Love you all. Best wishes.
Aww,
thank you, Shariah.
That's
You're
really
the
sweet.
best. Yeah, so sweet. Didn't mention Mikey, but that's okay.
I've guessed it like twice in like 3 years. So like, what's up? Morning. I see why you have morning problems.
And I think without any further ado, let's hop into the show.
Hello. Yay!
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
For the purposes of this podcast, we define a cult as organizations that rally behind an entity or leader who espouse beliefs outside the norm.
Organizations that require physical or monetary sacrifice as a condition of membership.
Organizations in which the doctrines followed by the leaders are different than that of the followers.
Organizations in which isolation is encouraged either by commune living or by a policy of disconnection from outside relationships.
And organizations that actively recruit new members. All cults might have some or all of these traits, and as always, these are our opinions. Thank you for tuning into Cult Podcast. I'm Paige Wesley.
And I'm Armando Torres.
And with us we have...
Mikey Randolph.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, normally we have people on and they yay themselves, but you went yay. Yay.
I didn't know if I was supposed to yay myself. I should have gone half-hearted into that.
This is every everyone wonders if they should yay themselves, but you're also one of the first people to like figure out what you're supposed to do immediately because it took Blaine like 4 episodes.
Yeah. No one knows that we're like, and with us, and then they just stare at us like, who's with you guys? Who's the guest?
And then we leave it in the edit for our own amusement.
I keep commenting on Blaine's thirst traps on Instagram, and he doesn't comment back, so I don't know if he's not seeing them or
I don't know. I'll send it to him. I also DM him.
Yeah, the one where he's wearing like really tight Star Wars shirts in the desert. I was like, wow. I mean, like, good for you, bro. I was like, yeah.
What do me and that desert have in common? We're both dying of thirst. Ooh, Blaine, call me, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I thank you, Mikey, for joining us. For those of you that don't know, Mikey is one of the 3 co-hosts of our sister show, Horror Virgin.
Yeah.
And Romancing the Pod, which is our
stepsister show.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because that's where the sexy stuff happens.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Canonically, Cult Podcast and Romancing the Pod do fuck. Like a lot.
I mean, there's no other way to make it work.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, Mikey.
No,
We've
thanks for
got
having me.
A great episode for you.
Yeah, I know nothing about what's about to happen.
Me neither.
I'm excited about it.
Oh, that's totally fine. It's been a very fun weekend for me. I think we talked a little bit before we started recording that because things are starting to open up a little bit more, things are starting to be safer. You know, me and most of the people that I know are fully vaccinated and fully immune at this point, or as immune as you can be. And me and some of my coworkers went out drinking for the first time in a year and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
We went to one of those bars. It's like outside. Everyone's super separate. You know, you keep your mask on when the waiter comes, and then we drank a bunch of alcohol, and then we decided to go back to one of our coworkers' houses, buy a handle of Bullet bourbon, and proceeded to drink most, if not all, of the entire bottle between 4 people in just a few hours. And I am apparently now at an age where a hangover is a 2-day affair. And
you got there finally.
Yeah.
Oof, man.
Yeah,
Oof.
it really fucked me up. I spent most of Saturday, I didn't throw up or anything, but I did just spend most of Saturday being like, oh my God, I wish I was fucking dead.
See, that started to happen to me a couple years older than you, closer to 30, but ooh boy, at a certain point I was like, I can't keep drinking because I can't keep having diarrhea for 2 days.
Well,
bad.
What happens with me, and listeners probably know this about me, I don't sleep very much. I have a huge problem getting sleep and staying on a regular sleep rhythm. But on Saturday, so I didn't actually like knock out until Saturday at around like 5 a.m. And then I slept for a few hours, and then we woke up, we got Taco Bell, we watched part of the OC, which is apparently a great show. Never heard about it. Never knew about it. Am a huge fan of the OC. Oh God. But yeah, Jesus, Marissa is not good enough for Ryan at this point in time. So
you'll like where this goes, I think.
Okay, good. I'm just putting it out there.
This is like hot takes 15 years too late.
Watch like 3 seasons and tell me what you think about Marissa. Like, tell me what you think about Marissa and Ryan. I would love.
Oh yeah.
I want like updates.
Yeah, I never watched it before. Huge fan now, especially when I was. When I was hungover, it was the only thing that made me want to keep living. Like I was like, please kill me, but keep me alive long enough to know what happens to Ryan. I just need to know. So yeah, I spent that, and then eventually, like when I was like fine, I drove home and then basically napped for hours, and then woke up at like 8 I woke up at like 8 p.m. and was just like, is this day exist anymore, or do I just like chalk it up as a loss? And so then I tried to do work, and then I got to like 5 a.m. and I was like, do I sleep, or do I just like power through and then sleep later? What do I do? And then I passed out at 8 a.m. this morning, and then woke up at 12 and then finished writing this episode. So it's it's been a bit of a wild ride. And the other thing interesting about this episode is that it covers a group. We're covering a group called Fiat Lux, which sounds like the luxury version of a Fiat car.
Yeah.
It
Right.
sounds like it comes with like a sunroof and like extra cup holders or something.
I like that that's what you think of as Lux. You're not like, no leather interiors. Still just like, just extra cup holders, no rims. But like a sunroof, though?
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing. I'm so poor. I'm not used to nice things. I was telling Mikey about my new apartment, and I was like, yeah, it's got crazy amenities like parking. It's got AC. There's a grill. And then I was like, oh, and there's a pool. And he was like, lead with the pool, asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, he like throws pool out in the middle, like, oh, there's like a rooftop pool,
Yeah.
and there's like grill, and there's like a coffee space where you can like make a coffee and like sit around. I was like, wait, go back. You have a rooftop pool?
I was like, yeah, but did you hear about the internet, the usable internet, and the air conditioning? That sounds
Oh, shit, you got air conditioning?
yeah, hell yeah,
Oh,
dude.
you bougie as fuck.
Hell yeah,
Motherfucker.
dude.
I'm going to sweat my ass off all summer. I'm coming to your house to record.
My new place is the first time I've had an ice maker in like 3 years, and I was like, this fridge makes ice for me.
Did you
Yeah.
know that you can buy countertop ice makers? I know
What?
because I looked at them on Amazon the other day and I was like, Jake, we need this. And he's like, no, we don't.
Okay.
Like, we can just
I would've
have
got
ice
one.
trays.
Bookmarking and set. There we go. But yeah, I had never heard of this group, and the reason is because they're based out of Switzerland and Germany. And they're not really known outside of those countries. So a lot of the source material that I was able to find for this group is in a different language, which is very difficult for me to translate. If it's not Spanish, and particularly Spanish pertaining to like Mexican food of some sort, I don't know it. And I don't know how to make it work. So it took me a while to find a few sources that I could actually interpret and actually read. And those sources, by the way, are a translated version or a subtitled version of a 1992 documentary on Fiat Lux. We also have the Oxford Handbook of New Religious Movements by James R. Lewis. And we have articles, multiple translated articles from the Geistige Log's official website. So, are you guys ready to get into this fucking weird story?
Wait, first I have to tell you that last night I went out as well.
Ooh.
For drinkings.
For drinking.
And I had alcoholic shaved ices.
What?
Alcoholic snow cones.
Yeah.
That exists?
Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible.
They were great. And they were like served with like an umbrella and a straw and a spoon. And I was like, this is great. You get like the I had like a raspberry one with tequila, and like there was like blue coconut. I just want to throw that out
No,
there
please, thank you for sharing. I am such a huge
I
fan.
love snow cones.
Yeah. I'm such a huge fan of anything that gets me inebriated that reminds me of my childhood. Like, that's my favorite stuff.
Like, yo, could you guys make gushers with Courvoisier inside it? Nice.
I was on a date, and she's like, I think I'm going to get a regular drink. And I was like, you go ahead. I'm getting another snow cone.
Okay, how did the date go?
Really good.
You really well, yeah. She was into this.
Yeah.
She was into you, even if when you ate a snow cone. Because I'll be honest with you, eating a snow cone alone is probably the least sexy thing you could do.
I spilled that shit all over me too.
That's
And
what
she
I'm
was
saying.
like-
Yeah. If you order like a whiskey neat, you can like swish it in the
Yeah, you can
glass,
look cool.
smoke a cigarette, cheat on your wife.
Are you close with your family? And then the umbrella falls off the side.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to be like, so do you come here often? Just fucking blue liquid dripping down your lips.
I'm like, is my tongue blue? And she's like, you're really nice.
Oh, society's back,
yeah.
baby. Oh my God. So our story revolves around a woman named Erica Gessler. And Erica was born on February 20th, 1929 in Zurich, Switzerland. Her father, Hans, was a gardener, and her mother was a stay-at-home mom. And they lived in a modest apartment on the outskirts of town and lived a pretty comfortable life. This is something that we've covered a few different times, particularly in the Speculation Zone episode when we covered Albert Hoffman, where back in the day in Switzerland, you could have a real shit job and still just afford an awesome fucking life for your family.
That's what I was like. He's like a part-time gardener and he's okay at the edge of town.
Oh, yeah. Just lives in this sick-ass fucking little apartment with his family. They're doing great. According to a former classmate, Erica came from a very normal and loving family. They weren't rich, but they definitely weren't poor. They were Catholic, but they weren't more religious than anyone else at the time. She was completely and utterly ordinary. But for Erica, that wasn't good enough. From a very young age, she knew that one day she was going to be a somebody. So after completing Swiss public school, she moved to London, England to attend university. She earned a degree in teaching, focusing on the English language. And after she graduated, she stayed in England for about 5 years working as a private language tutor. But eventually she got bored because, I mean, sure, London was very different from her home in Zurich. You know, it's big, it's bustling, it's an actual city, but she still just kind of felt like a nobody. She was just another teacher living paycheck to paycheck. And so she decided to start over by moving to Paris, France.
Ooh.
Nice. Ooh la la.
Paris. Baguettes.
Yeah, I fantasize sometimes about living like the nice bougie lifestyle in Paris, France, where I just like every night I go out with a different woman and I like eat the alcoholic snow cone and I'm just like, so tell me about your family.
I slurp the escargot. Yeah.
Welcome to France. All of our best chefs are ratatouille. He's a literal rat.
Oh, I'm here for it.
In Paris, she earned another teaching degree, this time focusing on the French language. But she also took courses in interpretation. And I want you to know how fucking stupid I am, because it took me longer than I want to admit to figure out what interpretation courses were. Because it means, I mean, as you both obviously know, it means that she learned how to work as a translator. But in my dumb fucking head, I'm like imagining a class where people show up and show each other text messages and they're like, okay, so how do you interpret this? Is he like into me?
Oh my God. If I could take a class, I can't tell you. I mean, thank God I don't have to date people anymore, because I'm sure I drove my friends nuts with like, but what does he mean by that?
I pulled that with Paige this morning. I'm like,
I interpret Mikey's texts now.
yeah.
He was a really nice guy, but he just had blue liquid dripping down his lips, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
He got an ice cream headache in the middle of our date.
You got fucking brain freeze.
Is that the man I want to be with?
Oh my God, that's the man I want to be, Mikey. You're living my fucking dream.
No, it was like a patio bar of a nice restaurant. So we walk up and there's like this really nice restaurant. Everybody's dressed up. I'm like, that's a really nice restaurant. We're not going there because that's like a relationship. We're going to the patio there where we're gonna eat snow cones. And she's like, oh, okay.
That's
See, now Mikey, okay, if you really like this girl and you want to get serious, then you got to take her back to that fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm playing the long game.
Yeah, that's how you have the DTR conversation where you're like, I know we've been seeing each other for a while, but we're not having snow cones tonight.
For the first weekend in 2 months.
Baby, I'm taking you out for shredded pork this time.
But just like in a cone with tequila.
Okay, everybody turn off your fucking microphones. We have to trademark this immediately. This is our future.
This is like when Mikey and I came up with the treadmill with grass on it.
Oh my God,
that's a brilliant idea.
It turns out they exist and they're like $7,000, but like we thought about it organically.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing, we can make it organically. We just buy a really cheap treadmill and we buy a lot of grass and a lot of tape. I think it could work.
I think
Organic tape. So we can put it on the box. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Paige, it's combustible or whatever. It's not combustible. Wait. Compostable.
Oh, there's a big difference between combustible and compostable, my friend.
Yeah, one of those is not a selling point.
Oh, man.
Oh boy. I like how this woman was like, I went to school for a language and I'm not doing great. I'm going to go back to school for a language and see if I do better.
Yeah, yeah. A language and minoring in interpretation, which is, I would assume, is not what most French universities do. I assume that everyone has to take a minor in being a fucking dick all the time. Just like, yeah, if you show up with an English degree, they're like, oh, how come you don't have a French degree, you fucking piece of shit.
The editor on the comic that I wrote is French, and I at one point was like, hey, if you listen to my podcast, I'm sorry about all of the times that we have said fuck the French. And he's like, oh no, they're terrible. like even he was like, the French are the worst.
Oh my god, what's a French artist's favorite color, by the way? It's sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Yes.
How have I never heard that?
This is a really well written podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really changing comedy. Somebody called us irreverent, by the way. Really, just
Oh my god, there's
amazing
no
stuff.
higher praise. That's like the time that incel at work called me ham beast. I love that.
By the way, ham beast is what we're calling the shredded pork snow cone we're making.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my god, we should be ham beast media or something like
Oh,
that.
that's
Like,
amazing. That is incredible.
we
great.
check and see if that's available after we finish this.
Yes, please.
So over the next 2 decades, Erica traveled the world taking a variety of really cool jobs with her new translating skills. She worked at a film distribution company in Switzerland. She worked for a movie production company in New York. And she was even an interpreter for the United Nations in Geneva.
Wow.
But she never stayed anywhere for too long because nothing seemed like the right fit. She spent all of her time around some of the most interesting people on Earth. Dignitaries, politicians, musicians, and even a handful of movie stars. She was surrounded by accomplished somebodies, but she only worked for them. She wanted to be one of them. It's a story that we have heard time and time again. In fact, I think almost every episode of our show contains the line, quote, "and they just knew there had to be more." It's one of the most common stories we've told. And that's why Erica, like most people around the 1950s and 60s, became drawn to theosophy.
No.
Yep, that's right. I tricked you into another theosophy episode.
God damn it.
Let's pretend that some people haven't listened a lot before.
Yeah.
And they don't know what theosophy is.
Imagine if you had think about the occult, orgies, sex magic, jizzing on knives. And then instead of all that, you were like, what if we did homework? That's theosophy.
It's like a math cult?
I mean, more or less.
Theosophy is like extreme Dungeons and Dragons, but only the part where you're calculating points.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, poor people.
Theosophy takes on many different forms, but it always basically has the same principles. We live as humans in the physical realm, but above us, or sometimes next to us, is the spiritual world. And this is where the ascended masters and the truly enlightened hang out once their souls figure out whatever it is that they're supposed to have learned here on the physical realm. Every so often, an ascended master returns to the physical world to help us poor fucking idiots out, but for the most part, humans are only able to understand bits and pieces until they become truly enlightened and ascend to the higher plane of existence themselves. The easiest way to explain it is like, have you ever been struggling to understand a concept and then all of a sudden it like clicks and then you can't like unsee how stupid you used to be before like you realize something? Mm-hmm. That's like what it is. It's like once you understand it, you change and then you are enlightened and then you can't go back. So it's like once you attain that knowledge, that is what changes you forever.
But they often try to attain this knowledge or have goals like build the biggest library in the galaxy or like create a bureaucracy where we can communicate with ascended masters from other planets. It's a lot of that.
These are two things that are real examples, by the way. That's not her making up.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work for that.
Yeah.
a lot of work for something make-believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a group that we covered where their entire goal was like, hey guys, what if we stopped fucking and had no sex and then tried to set up like a galactic library? And then like 500 people were like, dude, I'm fucking down, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
Stack these books, dog. And also,
Yeah.
time to put saucers on our cars, put doves in them, and make costumes because we're going to film movies about it. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
I can't do a no sex thing. I could.
How do you live your normal life?
Yeah, but like I couldn't do it like voluntarily. I can do libraries.
enough.
That's fine.
Yeah. You can have sex in libraries too, probably.
Hey, Ludacris sang about it in What's Your Fantasy, where he said, how about up in the library on top of books, but you can't be too loud. So it's happened before.
That has happened before.
That is true. That is part of, if you look on the back of every library card, it does say you can fucking hear as long as you're not too loud.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Also, there's a late fee if you don't pull out. Anyway, what set Erica apart from a lot of the other theosophy believers that we've covered was her strict adherence to her Catholic faith. It's not uncommon for theosophy to mix with aspects of Christianity, but she subscribed to what is known as spiritual Christianity. These are people who believe that theosophy and Christianity were the exact same religion. So while working as a translator in her hometown of Zurich in 1967, she joined a group called the Geistige Lodge, then led by a famous medium named Beatrice Brunner. Beatrice claimed that our understanding of Christianity was almost right, but that the process for being saved was a little bit different in practice. So we on Earth live in the physical world, which serves as a lifelong test where you either devote yourself to God and secure your spot in the higher plane of heaven, or your soul becomes lost and gets claimed by Lucifer after you die. Kind of like the world's shittiest lost and found. You know, if God doesn't claim your soul in 2 weeks, Lucifer gets to wear it. And he's just like, look, it's thrifted. But because we're surrounded by spirits, a deep connection with God could actually improve your time here in the physical realm. Beatrice claimed that she could speak to the souls of the dead through transcendental meditation. And with their spiritual guidance, you could learn about your future and could even convince the spirits to help you out with your earthly troubles. So basically, it's like spiritual TaskRabbit. You know, like you meditate, you connect with an enlightened soul, and then they like spiritually mount your TV to the wall. Beatrice claimed that she could teach you this skill, by the way, for a nominal fee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the dead. How much is it?
How much?
I don't know how, I couldn't find how much it was, but that is kind of the thing of all of these theosophy groups, and it's something that you hear time and time again, is that how great the master of this group is, how enlightened they are, how they don't need anything from the earthly plane, and how they're willing to show you all of this stuff for a nominal fee.
Yeah, I don't need anything. I'm above it all, but I could use $20, you know?
But I could use $20.
Yeah.
Also, this is one of the instances that I was talking about where it was kind of difficult to translate things, because sometimes translations from German to English don't go very well, which like we covered in the Illuminati episode, where a literal translation caused somebody's mom to say the goose is loose.
Yeah.
And it made like zero fucking sense, but it was so funny. That there's another instance of this here, where because their whole point is that Christianity and spirituality have been kind of at odds for a long time, but that they should actually come together and form the one true religion. But what Beatrice called it was the intercourse with the spirit world.
Yeah. You just gotta really get in there.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's.
You know how you get dicked down by ghosts? There it is.
That's what chemtrails actually are. They're just sky facials. Oh my God. So it was at one of these meditation courses in 1970 that Erica met a wealthy older man named Max Berschinger. And the two had a lot in common. Theosophy and spiritual Christianity consumed their every waking thought, and almost immediately they hit it off. Unfortunately, Max was already married.
Oh, to a bear? Because that's what his last name sounds like.
Max Bearfucker.
Yeah.
Bear Stringer. Sorry. Unless it was Bear Swinger, and then it would be a little bit easier.
Where they just like show up to nondescript houses in the valley full of other bears and are like, well, do you like to watch? Do you want to get involved? Are you in the scene? Yeah.
Ooh, girl, I'm trying to catch a salmon out that pussy.
What's upstream?
Just more stuff that smells like fish.
Unfortunately, Max was already married, and on top of that, his wife wasn't a fan of how into spiritualism he was.
Quit fucking ghosts.
Apparently, the Geistige Lodge was just one of the many groups that Max was a member of. In fact, supposedly, he was a member or at least participated in over 12 different spiritual societies or communities.
Oof, magoof.
Yeah.
That's a lot of make-believe.
Yeah. And this also included a group called Camp Silver Bell, which isn't super important to our story, but when I looked into it, I could not stop laughing at just how fucking ridiculous it was. So it was essentially a theosophy-based church camp where followers would check in for weeks at a time to learn from a famous medium named Ethel Post. Ethel touted some incredible powers that she had gained through a lifelong devotion to meditation and worship. It was said that she would even make a spirit appear in her seances in front of everyone at the camp. Ooh. She would begin by falling into a deep trance, and then she would chant an ancient mantra, and then lift the veil between our world and the next. The room would fill with smoke and light, and after it died down, a ghostly figure would stand before the crowd, a small native girl known as Silver Bell. And the spirit would warn of an impending flood that was going to come and wipe out humanity, and your only chance of survival and salvation was to reach enlightenment, something that could be achieved through the camp for a nominal fee.
I mean, it sounds like they're flashbang smoke, and then they just have a kid in makeup.
That is exactly what they were doing. Yeah, Ethel Post was a complete fraud. An investigation into the camp showed that it was nothing more than just sleight of hand. That is almost exactly what they were doing. After the seance began, Ethel's team would fill the room with smoke, and then they would open a trap door that would house the girl who played Silver Bell. In fact, the reason that people wanted to investigate at all was because the group got too cocky. Part of their promotional materials included doctored photographs that showed Silver Bell manifesting during the seance. But because the pictures were updated each year, people noticed that this ghost was somehow getting older.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so this just begged the question, how the fuck does a ghost get old? And then they figured it out.
They don't. That's the whole ghost thing.
Leading into the 1970s, Erica and Max attended several different societies and camps. She finally felt like she was beginning to unlock some sort of secret knowledge, but nothing quite made her feel like a somebody. But in February of 1972, everything would change. While taking a leisurely horse ride, she was bucked off of her steed and fell headfirst onto the ground. And the accident left her with a severe brain injury that required a lengthy stay in a hospital. She was in and out of consciousness for a few days, but after about a week, she finally woke up.
Now, okay, this is something that also happened to Madame Helena Blavatsky, except when she was thrown from a horse, it damaged her genitals. I should say, I think it actually damages her uterus and her pelvic area. And that supposedly prompts her with some visions, but also a lifetime of pain and addiction to opiates. I'm interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, so after about a week, Erica finally woke up, and what she saw in front of her were several angels surrounding her hospital bed. And these high spirits told her that this was her destiny. The head injury had permanently lifted the veil between the two realities, and now she could freely communicate with the spirits in the beyond. But why me? She asked them. And that's when they laid out God's plan. She was the reincarnation of the Virgin Mary, sent to our world to act as the mouthpiece for one of the most powerful spirits in heaven, Jesus H. Christ.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait.
I love it.
Do we have a listing of who else is pretending to be the Virgin Mary around this time?
No, I did that. You know what? The reason though is because while I got a little sidetracked because while I was researching this in one of the sources for this episode, they do refer to Jesus as Jesus H. Christ, which is something that I have always heard and wondered about. And so I did some digging because I wanted to know what Jesus' middle name was. And apparently it's fucking Harold.
Jesus Harry Christ.
Jesus Harry Christ. You bet your ass he was.
That's what he goes by when he solves crimes.
The name's Harry. Harry Christ.
You better pray to me that I let you go.
Christ isn't even his last name. It's a title that we ascribe to him, but in English we kind of treat it like a last name and H as kind of a hilarious middle initial. But his name would have been like Jesus Bar Joseph or Ben Joseph because his father's name is Joseph. Yeah.
Also, if you're wondering, by the way, where this comes from, it's a mistranslation of the Lord's Prayer. The line is, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name," which at one point was apparently accidentally mistranslated as "Our Father who art in heaven, herald be thy name."
I'm sure it was probably heralded, which is kind of similar to hallowed, not spelled like the name Harold, but I could definitely see somebody hearing it and being like, I had no idea that he was also a herald. My name is Harold. I'm going to keep this going.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Harold Christ. That's the guy that Mikey should have been at the bar with, like the glass of whiskey that used to be water, by the way.
Well, we know it was because it was shaved ice, so it did used to be water.
Yeah, you know, I was born in a manger, but look at me now.
Oh, Harold, you're so debonair.
Work's been real rough lately. They've been crucifying me.
Fuck. Oh, this is another episode in a long line of episodes that make Paige go, I'm glad that she's not recording next to it.
No lightning here.
But it makes sense that she woke up. I mean, like, TBI can cause a lot of hallucinations and delusions and stuff, so that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, Mikey's an actual medical professional. And from my basic understanding of what was happening, apparently a head injury this bad, especially one that knocks you out for a couple of days, can cause a state of psychosis similar to what some schizophrenics experience with visual and auditory hallucinations.
And she probably had like a hoof side dent. You can edit that out.
You bet your fucking ass we won't.
Probably look like a angel's, what's it called? Halo.
And she had a halo on the top of her fucking head. Oh my God.
She walks up to a meeting and she's just like, I'm close to Jesus. And they're like, close only counts in horseshoes and hit. You know what? Sure.
Yeah.
It's still on her head.
Yeah.
Horseshoes embedded on her head.
That's why she's not actually hearing voices. She's just picking up radio signals.
But it's like a fancy hat. So people are just like, I mean, it looks cool, but also that's how she hears from God.
I
don't know about a fancy hat, but it's definitely a fancy hat like a hat rack or something she's got on her fucking head.
She takes her hat off and hangs it on her own head.
Yeah, exactly. So as crazy as all of this shit sounds, by the way, there is a very good chance that Erica actually believed all of this to be true.
Well,
I don't think
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I don't think that she was, I think that she was hallucinating for sure, but I don't think that she made up any, well, I don't think that she thought she was making any of this up.
Yeah, she believed it all was real.
Yeah, I think she's telling people what she's seeing, and what she is seeing is a disconnection with reality, but to her, it seems real. So I'll give her a pass.
And Erica took it as a sign of her inherent importance in the world and decided that this was the perfect time for her to build up her own philosophy for what spiritual Christianity meant. So she spent the next year or so honing her powers through transcendental meditation. By 1974, she claimed that she had gained the ability to predict the future, to astral project, and even to speak freely with Harold Christ. Things were going. I'm sorry, I just can't get over Harold Christ.
This is Harold Christ.
Quit horsing around.
I just picture her meditating and like hitting a tuning fork on her horseshoe.
I also, by the way, I did love that in the translation for this, they did say that she was able to speak freely with Jesus Christ, which I assume just meant that she was like, Jesus, can I speak freely with you? And he was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, damn.
Or it's like a military thing where Harold's like, speak freely, soldier. At ease, at ease.
Normally, Jesus is like, this normally costs 90 cents a minute, but you've got a coupon. And so...
Yeah. Normally people can speak with me, but it's for a nominal fee.
You have to speak through this little girl that I put in this trapdoor.
Oh, my God. So things were going pretty well for her. I mean, at least all things considered. Not only had she, at least in her mind, reached enlightenment, but she and Max no longer had to hide their relationship. For years now, the couple was only able to meet at seances, services, and theosophy camps. But in 1975, Max's wife passed away. And almost a week after her body was buried, Erica moved into the luxury retirement home where Max lived in order to fully devote herself to working on her spiritual outlook.
Oh, luxury retirement home.
Yeah, you know, with like a fucking sunroof and like extra cup holders,
Rooftop pool.
Sometimes they take the van out to the graveyard so we can have spiritual intercourse.
Oh my God. Within 3 years, they were married and she became Erica Hedwig Gessler Bertschinger. And I only bring this up because the name thing, she gets married a lot, and by the end of the story, she has like 5 fucking last names. Like she's just collecting them, and I kind of love it.
Where she's just like Erica, Hedwig, Bertschinger, Goldschlager, H. Christ.
And the H is for phenomenal. Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Erica claims that her relationship with Max wasn't as simplistic as most earthly relationships are. Theirs was a spiritual relationship. In fact, abstinence was one of the first principles of Erica's new philosophy.
I'm out.
Oh, boy.
I am out. No, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Max. Oh.
According to her, relationships on the physical plane only exist to help you get closer to God. Max did not agree at first.
But then she showed him some episodes of Chris Angel's Mind Freak, and he was like, I could get down.
Yeah, this has got to be it. Yeah, I think he just weighed his options and was like, fuck, I left my wife for the, okay, all right. Yeah, okay, it's fine. We're good.
Oh, man.
Another part of her new philosophy was using your physical appearance to represent your spirituality, which is actually something that was taught to her through the Geistige Lodge. It was something that they had sort of practiced in that, like, the physical realm and your life within the physical realm is meant to fully represent who you are spiritually, and part of that is done through your physical appearance. And so she gave herself one hell of a makeover. She started rocking elegant all white outfits and dresses to represent her purity.
What's with everybody doing the all white, man? Get some color in there.
Hell yeah, dude. What are you going to do after Labor Day? You're going to look like a fucking unfashionable ass bitch.
What happens if you shit your pants?
What happens if you shit your pants? I see people wearing like all white outfits and I'm like, what do? You don't sit down anywhere?
Do you never eat ketchup? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. How do you do this? It's fucking, it's upsetting. Mikey's looking at me like he wears an all white outfit.
No. I'm just thinking about like, I accidentally bought restaurant style salsa instead of chunky salsa. And like every bite I spill on myself because it's basically just salsa that's like liquidier.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like I wear mostly all black or like a few different colors. And even I spill on myself constantly all the time, always. So I have no idea how anyone could wear all white and not just look like a fucking Pollock painting.
I rock a G cup. I'm rocking this G cup titty life, which means I just have a shelf of shirt underneath my face that just gathers food no matter what. Unless I'm like bending over to eat things, I can't rock all white. There's no way it's coming out. I have a stain on my shirt right now, and I don't remember where it came from.
Yeah, oh my God, that is my life in a nutshell. I have a stain on my shirt right now, and I don't remember where it came from. Also, by the way, G Cup sounds like a nickname for a pimp cup. I love that so much.
G Cups is definitely my rapper name.
Oh, she also, speaking of G Cups, she also rocked some serious bling. She had diamond-studded earrings, gold-plated bracelets, and complex chains to signify her success as one of the top rappers in Germany. No, I guess.
Such a long list.
That's not at all. Also, I said Germany, but I think at this time she was in Switzerland. No, she did it to signify herself as spiritual royalty because she was the reincarnation of Harold's mom, after all. So she needed to look the part. Sorry, Jesus. Jesus is my mom. I call him Harold because we're so close. Then there was the mountainous black wig that she wore. And I am talking fucking Peggy Hill's hair on steroids.
Well, you gotta hide the horseshoe.
Okay.
First of all, I love a good wig. But I had fully forgotten about the horseshoe at this point.
Well, it's gonna clash with the white, so you have to cover it.
I'm gonna share my screen first, or I'm not gonna share my screen. Give me 2 seconds.
I just want bumper stickers that say Harold is my co-pilot.
I'm gonna share with you guys what she looked like. You see her?
My goodness!
That's definitely.
My God!
You guys.
What?
There's definitely a horseshoe under there.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It started as a bit, but Mikey is absolutely 100% correct. She wore this gigantic complex wig. I guess it's not really complex. It just looks like it weighs a fucking ton.
It looks like a giant June Carter Cash wig.
Yeah.
Like she was like, she saw June Carter Cash and was like that, but turn it up to 11. Like a brunette Trixie Mattel. It's just like wild. You could fit like 4 horseshoes under there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So she had that, and she said that it was apparently to hide the scars from her accident.
So it literally was to hide the horseshoe.
Yeah. Exactly. It just, oh my God, it was so perfect. One of the other things that I learned was that she, as you saw from that picture, she had really
fun barrettes.
Yeah. A lot of accessories. She loved to accessorize, but she did a lot of this like makeup, like kind of complex makeup too, where she would really cake out. She loved eyeshadow, and she would do like a lot of blues and white eyeshadow, which is something that I guess a lot of like these religious people do, is the white eyeshadow.
Oh, well,
something I've seen a lot.
She looks like a Southern Baptist church lady. Like she, big hair, light eyeshadow, tons of mascara. To be honest, she looks like what I hope to look like as an old lady. Like I'm gonna go full into crazy wigs and fake lashes, and I hope all of you are ready. I have no shade to throw at her appearance. It looks fun as shit.
No, she looks awesome as fuck. Dude, that's the thing. She looks like she's straight out of Texas.
Yes,
like,
she does.
That's what's hard to remember. I showed you the picture of her. She's like, she's Swedish, you know?
Well,
like
she's Swiss.
Yeah, she's Swiss. I guess. Oh, yeah, because Sweden.
Because there's some holes in her story.
Jesus Christ, that was a good show.
Mikey
Oh,
wrote
my
that
God.
one.
Yeah, if you do some cursory like Google searching for her, one of the other things that comes up a lot is a lot of blog posts from different drag queen communities.
Oh, yeah.
That are like, yeah, like she is apparently an influence in her style on a lot of different drag queens modern day.
Absolutely. Her and another one is Tammy Faye Baker is huge in the drag community. And they have a similar look, to be honest. Like, I understand that as a drag reference point for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that was one of the only things I could find in English for her are these blog posts where people are like kind of breaking down like the makeup and the techniques that she would use and kind of like where her influences would have come from. And then like how she liked to ramp it up, like you said, like ramping it up to 11. It's almost like a caricature of what a Southern Baptist would look like.
And I'm thinking like Southern televangelist Baptist.
Yes.
The
And
higher the hair, the closer to Jesus. Bless him. Bless your heart.
We have a different saying in California, which is the higher the sock, the downer the food. But it basically means
that is true. That's a very accurate saying.
It means the exact same thing. But yeah, that is a very interesting thing to pick up on. Something that if I'm being honest with you, I got the relation in the look, but didn't really make that connection. Her style of what would eventually become like preaching or giving sermons is very, very Southern Baptist. It's almost like straight up revivalist shit.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm wondering if maybe she took a lot of influence from them when she was here in America, because she was briefly, specifically working in like the movie industry.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's where she kind of got.
I mean,
some of her influence.
she looks like a brunette version of Tony Alamo's wife, who like Texas cult, giant hair, big television program. Like that's what she looks like.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. So her interesting appearance and her philosophy and origin story, which is very reminiscent of, like we covered earlier, Madame Blavatsky, of the fucking injury that sort of unlocked this inner ability to like connect to the beyond. A lot of people really resonated with that and were at least very interested in it. So her retirement villa, where she lived at, with Max, with this old fucking man, they had visitors almost every single day, because people needed to meet her and they wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. And she was acting as the official mouthpiece for Jesus.
Plus, DragCon is not for another couple months. So if you want to see her now without the line, you got to get in now.
Would they just go in there and she'd be like, Jesus is saying, drink your Ovaltine.
Jesus is saying, yes, God boots down the housework.
She sees somebody wearing the same dress and she goes, Jesus said I wore it better. So maybe you should go home and fucking change, bitch.
Bitch stole my look.
Jesus said, hold my wig.
But then she pulls it back and it's a wig reveal and there's a second wig underneath. Love it.
On January 12th, 1980, she officially decided to start her own school of spiritual Christianity. She called her new sect the Order of Fiat Lux, which is Latin for let there be light. She also adopted a brand new name. She named herself after the archangel Uriel and adopted the name Uriella.
So we have another Uriel. Okay, so in Unarius, their leader is also named Uriel, also loved wigs, also a drag icon, also turned looks like nobody's business. That's wild, because this is happening at the same time. So they're not like copying each other. They are coexisting in different parts of the world, drawing inspiration from the same places and doing the same shit. And that is fascinating.
It really is. It's like there are a few times in human history where people have come up with the exact same idea, separated with no form of communication with each other. And it's just really interesting to watch that extend to like the origins of drag culture. I just think that's so beautiful. That people were like, yeah, I love the traditional like look, but what if it was crazy as fuck?
What if I made a dress that had the entire solar system on it? Bitch, hold my wig. What if I dressed all in white and had tons of chains? Well, what if I had a collection of tiaras? Bitch, wait, I've got rings. Like, this is blowing my mind, and I love it.
Yeah. They are often, in fact, Uriel from I almost said Uranus from
Unarius.
Uriel from deep inside your asshole, and
I have a really complicated sense of humor over here. I'm like,
Uriel from Uranus. God damn it! I did it again. Fucking Uriel and Uriella are often brought up alongside each other, and they do kind of look similar, and sometimes people will accidentally post photos of the other one when they're talking about the other. Does that make sense? Like, they get confused
because the only difference is hair color. Like,
yeah.
To be honest with you, like Uriel in California at the same time is turning bunches of wigs, but she's often seen as like a redhead or a blonde or pink, purple, blue, like she is turning it out. Yeah. Then Uriella is dark wigs. It's like the Witch of the East and the Witch of the West. We've got Glenda and Elphaba, and it's a whole crazy world.
Yeah, and ours, fucking Uriel, is definitely the good witch because goddamn is she her looks are so much more eccentric and complex than Uriella's. And I love them to death. I mean, I like Uriella's looks, but I gotta say, if you don't have a dress with the entire solar system, including some made up fucking planets on your body, you don't mean shit to me.
So like you love Miss Frizzle.
Well,
oh hell yeah, dude.
What you could say about Uriel is that she was popular. She's gonna be popular. Yeah.
It's from Wicked, you uncultured fuck.
Mikey doesn't do musicals. He doesn't like the singing on the show. It's a whole thing.
I went and saw fucking Wicked at the Pantages Theater, you fucking uncultured swine. Why don't you go back to a fucking patio, eat another goddamn alcoholic snow cone, you piece of shit?
That sounds so fun. You want to come with me?
I would 1,000% go see Wicked with you. I loved it so much.
Unlimited. These snow cones are unlimited.
I have heard Wicked is good. I would go to a theater to watch it.
Yeah, Wicked's really good. I liked Wicked.
Wicked is amazing. I loved it so much, and this is how shitty of a kid I was, by the way, Mikey, because I saw it not because I'm a cultured fucking idiot or anything. I saw it because my grandma and my mom were like, we're going to go see Wicked, and I was a child, so I was like, I guess. I mean, it's no Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but I guess. And then when we got there, they had boxes of C's candy that were dyed green. And I was like, oh, this trip just got worse. Yes. So, like, that's more of what I remember. I do remember the plot. I do remember the song. And fucking that Popular is a banger. Like,
Popular
it's just a great banger. Fucking song.
I mean, that musical top to bottom has great songs in it.
Oh, yeah. Just a fantastic musical. But yeah, so on January 12th, 1980, she formed the Order of the Fiat Lux and named herself Uriella. And word began to spread very quickly through the community about her power and her messages, especially as, like I mentioned, other orders that were around at the same time were starting to go down as frauds. So many of these people were started to be outed as fake or basically magicians. Honestly, because you're not wrong with the Chris Angel shit. They're basically just sleight of hand magicians.
Hey.
And for some reason, instead of looking at all of this shit going down and being like, oh, this is all a sham, none of this is real, they just went, I can't believe you would besmirch the good name of theosophy. I got to go talk to this lady with a horseshoe in her head that says she can talk to Jesus.
Her name's Uriella DeVille.
I feel like she's a luckier pick.
Oh my God. Yeah. And as word began to spread like wildfire, so did her following count. What started out as about 47 followers quickly grew to include over 2,000 devoted members.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is. 2,000 is much bigger than 47, Mikey. Good job.
Thank you.
Why am I a bully to everyone who comes on our show?
I mean, I'm not good at math, so I'm just gonna sit here and take the math bullying.
No, you're fine. It's not even that bad. We had Todd on, your co-host Todd. I don't know if he told you, but I spent 2 episodes talking about how I'm gonna fuck his mom.
Yeah.
He deserves to be bullied. I'll say it. He came on this podcast. I am aware he came on this podcast and talked some shit about me. So I will say that when my friends listen to our podcast, they're like, it's really funny, but like Todd's voice is a little much, don't you think? And I'm like, yeah, I do think his voice is a little much.
Okay, but also we've spent the last 4 weeks on our respective other podcasts making jokes about the truck that killed Todd's brother. So like, I'd say it evens out. You got like,
God.
come on.
Oh, did that?
I love this.
Did that
I
death
love this
affect his
shared
voice,
universe
though?
we have.
There's no excuse there.
Oh my God.
They made me watch West Side Story, and like,
Because
I
it's
hated
great.
Did they have? Hold on. Did they have any dyed Seas chocolate?
No, they did not.
Not worth it.
no, it was the movie version. And then like Maria's brother's killed by Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Ah, spoiler alert.
Tony goes and has sex with Maria like after he kills her brother. And I was like, Todd, that's like if you fucked the truck that killed your brother the night of.
Oh my God. All right, we're all terrible people. And speaking of which, if Uriella's group ended here, we might have another Unaria situation, where it was just a group of eccentric people believing a lot of weird shit and doing stuff to live a clean lifestyle. But throughout the lifespan of her group, Fiat Lux, Uriella would become responsible for multiple deaths. She would become a wanted criminal in both Switzerland and Germany, and she would predict one of the scariest apocalypses in history.
She's wanted, dead or
alive.
On the steel horseshoe she rides.
Oh, we got him. We got him on fucking camera. Okay, for everyone who listens to Cult Podcast and not Horror Virgin, first of all, hop on Horror Virgin. It's an amazing show. But there is currently a running bit where Mikey refuses to acknowledge the singing jokes that they do. And now we just caught him singing. This is fucking singing.
I sung right there.
We caught you hoof-handed.
I felt guilty for the Todd jokes.
So that was, you threw a little song.
Yeah, all right, fine.
It'll get him through.
Oh my God. And we will cover all of this and more on next week's episode.
I'm so glad I'm coming back because I really want to know what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a crazy fucking story, and I'm really excited to share it with you. This episode, I wanted to kind of get you guys familiar with the main characters as we start to roll into this. It is so fucking crazy, the shit that they do and just get away with for so long, and then how it just like, it's pretty crazy and weird and weird and weird, and then at just 1 second, it just fucking ramps up to 1,000 and she's just like on the run from the government. It's fucking wild.
So you could say, she tried defying gravity.
That's from Wicked.
Yep.
I used context clues.
Fantastic. Mikey, thank you so much for coming
Thanks for
on the
having
show.
me.
You have been a fantastic guest. Where can people find you?
Oh, all the horror version stuff. Paige probably talks about it some in the Romance in the Pod stuff. But all my personal socials it's mrandolph24 on all the social stuff, Instagram, Twitter, all that things. So send me an ad. I post pictures of my dog a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. And like we've already mentioned, Mikey and Paige are both co-hosts on Horror Virgin and Romancing the Pod, which are two very, very fun shows. Horror Virgin, where they watch a new horror movie every week, forcing Todd, who fucking hates horror movies, to sit through what is essentially 2 hours of torture, and then they make a bunch of jokes about it.
Yeah. Just wait till we make them watch Maximum Overdrive.
Oh.
Because the trucks.
Yeah.
You know Todd listens to the show, right?
Does he?
Yeah. He listens to it like every week because he's our friend, first of all.
I don't like podcasts. It's like a dying medium.
Oh,
that's right,
my
Todd.
God.
This is for you. That's what you get.
Oh my God. Yeah. And Romancing the Pod is a fantastic show where it's very similar to Horror Virgin, but they watch a different romantic comedy, or is it just romance movies?
It's like romance movie. We totally mess up the premise immediately. We're like, let's just do regular romance movie. You should come on that show and pick your favorite
I would love to come on that
Pick
show.
your favorite romantic movie. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, what a cute picture of McCready the McKitty.
He's all stretched out upside down right now, right next to me.
So go check out Horror Virgin and Romancing the Pod, and hopefully listen to me on Romancing the Pod. I also did an episode on Horror Virgin Deep Blue Sea.
It's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, who you gonna trust?
Yeah.
Who you gonna trust?
Yes.
Such a fun time. Hey, if you are looking to support us as a podcast, you can do so by going to patreon.com/cultpodcast. For just $5 a month, you get access to our bonus content, but there are also a bunch of other fun rewards there as well. For current Patreon members, if you have not received your rewards, there is a post on the Patreon with instructions on how to get them. It's mostly because Patreon has the most shit ass setup for like physical rewards, and they make it really, really difficult for us to like easily send that to you.
Your pain.
Yeah, it sucks. I love Patreon. It helps me do what I do, but also like, God damn it, dude. If I'm supposed to send people stuff, make it easier to send people stuff.
I'm in charge of the merch orders on Harvard, and I'm like, let me get out the spreadsheet. I'm not good at spreadsheets. Where'd that column go? And I was like, okay, I'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, and it gets even worse when you have to ask people for like what size they are, because I have to like physically email you because it's anyway. It doesn't matter. Patreon is great, but also come on, dude, step it up. This week, our episode is brought to you in part by Caroline. Caroline says, OMG, hi, y'all. I joined the Cheesy family. Heart.
Aw.
So sweet.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Caroline.
I can only hope that my family will continue to be as cheesy as possible.
And if you're looking for a place to listen to the show, might we suggest Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Yeah.
Make a rooster noise.
Caca! Wait, no, that's not. No, that's all I got.
Okay, all right. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, Rooster Teeth is a great place to watch a bunch of really fun content and listen to a bunch of really cool podcasts. A bunch of our friends are on there, so go check it out. You can download the app on your fucking smartphone, your Roku television, your Amazon Fire Stick, your Xbox, all those great places. But you can also go to the website roosterteeth.com as well. Hey, if you want some more content and stuff that I'm making, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Mando Does Stuff. It's MANDO Does Stuff. I'm also a regular working guest producer, whatever, on the Funhouse podcast on Rooster Teeth. So come check us out there. It's a lot of fun. We cover a lot of different pop culture shit every single week. Really, really fun time. Yeah, come check us out.
I've been hearing your voice a lot in the background of makeup tutorials.
Oh yeah, on TikTok. That's been an interesting development. None of them are as good as Uriella, but you know they're pretty okay. So yeah, come check me out there, and I love you so much. Goodbye.
Hey, it's your girl Paige. You know where to find me, at Paige Wesley on Twitter. at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok. I just got to review preliminary layouts for my comic today. I'm so fucking stoked about it.
They look
Yeah, they're
good.
so fucking rad.
I'm stoked. So if you want to find out more about that when it comes out, follow me on social media. And if you want to send me your ideas for wigs and looks that you're going to turn in the retirement home, you can definitely send those to me as well. Love you. Bye.
If you're looking to follow us on Instagram, you can do so at Cult Podcast.
Or on Twitter at Cold Podcast Show.
You can also shoot us an email at cultpodcastshow@gmail.com.
And if you want to send us wigs for us to wear during these Zoom calls purely to entertain each other, you can send those to 3756 West Avenue 40, Suite K, number 237, like the Shining, Los Angeles, California, 90065. And I think for this one, I'm going to say, don't drink too close to a horse. And don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Bye.
Don't drink the fucking melted alcoholic snow cone either, you fucking idiots.
There's nothing
Get
wrong
a
with that.
fucking new one.